to extend an invitation to our colleague and ask that he comes back on Monday, because there are legal issues that we need to sort out. And then we'll also invite Honorable Samuel Okudzeto Ablakwa to come with him on Monday again to testify whether he indeed invited him, because of where we saw him in the video among members of parliament. Our standing orders talks about strangers. And if you are a stranger in parliament, there are consequences of being a stranger in parliament. And so I will discharge him if members permit, allows me. I'll discharge him and then we can take him on Monday. Is that okay? Mr. George Glory Opeku, you are discharged until Monday, 10 o'clock. Thank you very much for attending. So Monday, please come with your lawyer, and then we'll also invite our colleague, Honorable Samuel Okudzeto Ablakwa. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
We'll now have Honorable Minister for, Deputy Minister designate for local government. Is it for local government? Local government, chieftaincy and religious affairs. Honorable Rita Na Odole Sowa. Can you please take the oath?
I, Rita Na Odole Sowa,
swear by the Almighty God
swear by the Almighty God
that the evidence I shall give before this committee
that the evidence I shall give before this committee
touching the matter in issue
shall be the truth,
the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help me God.
So help me God.
Honorable Rita Na Odole Sowa, first of all, let me congratulate you on your nomination as Deputy Minister Designate for Local Government, Chieftaincy and Religious Affairs. Congratulations.
Thank you, Honorable Chairman.
You were not here when we played the video, and so I don't know whether you would like to watch the video first before we go ahead.
Honorable Chairman, I would want to watch the video. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable. Please, have you watched the video?
Yes, Honorable Chair.
Can you tell this committee whether you identify yourself in that video?
Honorable Chair, I identify myself, but I saw the back of myself, my hair and a little of my cloth.
Oh, so that was not you. Is
It
that
was
you?
me. It's me in the video. Thank you.
So can you tell us what you were doing here on that day?
Thank you, Honorable Chair. I'm a member of the Appointments Committee, so I was here that day for the vetting of honorable nominees of His Excellency, the President John Dramani Mahama. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
After that, for me, I was sitting there as a member waiting to hear from leadership. And then I saw that the argument started. And so I was watching and seeing what was going to transpire. Then I realized that our brothers on the other side said they were not going to agree for us to continue. And so what I also saw was that they started beating the table and said they were not going to agree, especially they kept on fighting till the marshal came in, the clerk of parliament also came in, and there was the argument for the clerk of the committee.
In your view, from where you are sitting, I know you tend to sit on the opposite side where I am sitting, where our clerk is sitting. Usually that is your seating position. At what point did you anticipate that this situation was getting a bit out?
Honorable Chair, at the point where we wanted to get the vetting to continue, and then the ranking member said they would not allow the vetting to continue. So at that point, I was sitting there watching to see what was going to transpire, whether we'll be asked to end the vetting or not.
So did you make an attempt to, talk to your colleague on the other side to, calm down or stop what they were doing or something?
At that point, I realized the leadership were arguing among themselves. So I sat quietly, looking on and hoping that nothing untoward will happen. Thank you.
Since the appointment committee started this session, have you ever felt there were some undercurrents of maybe intolerance or something like that amongst the committee members?
Thank you. Normally, we do meet before sitting starts, and views are heard from both sides. And so most of the time, we come to an agreement before we start sitting. So that's what I can say.
Thank you. No further questions for now, Chairman.
Thank you, Honourable Chair. Honourable colleague, just since the Appointments Committee started sitting, was that the day that you actually vetted the highest number of nominees?
If my memory will serve me right, it would have been that day, but because we didn't continue, and we are all aware that we didn't sit on Tuesday, so we had a backlog that we tried to balance here and there. And so we agreed that for Honorable Akando, thought that since he was the one, I felt very unsafe, but I had to be calm in my seat. And one thing I want to say is that when you look at this hall and the number of people that come in, if there's any danger, where do you pass? And I didn't know what was going on outside this room, and so I didn't want to risk going out. That's why you saw me seated quietly in my chair. And I would want to add that I'm happy that the rules governing this appointment vetting will be adhered to, because the number of visitors that troop into this room, I mean, it's not the best. And so where you have visitors or guests of appointees or nominees also joining in the arguments, I saw some of them moving from.
I would like to ask you, we know among the leadership on the other side, we have one woman who's a first deputy minority leader. Deputy minority leader. It's a woman, and I saw you sitting here. How was her composure in the midst of all the things that were going on? Because you were so close to the scene. Can you describe her composure at that time?
Thank you, Honorable Chair. I would be wrong if I can say I can describe it. I don't recall. But she was sitting there.
On telly, I could see it was just in the midst of the men within, where all these things were happening. So I was asking myself, even though the minority chief whip, he had a phone on, so we could hear all the things that he was saying, but my part was a bit calm. So my expectation was that I was expecting something from, because I always want to advocate for women in leadership positions. I was asking myself, what was my part?
Honorable colleague, I want to overrule this one because she's not here, and she's billed to come on. No, she's supposed to be here today. She's not here. But since she's not here physically, I want to beg of you to ask different